that we would schedule a public hearing to talk about it and possible adoption if we felt we wanted to do it. I wanted to make that clear. Okay? Any other comments? I didn't want to take up your discussion time, Councilwoman. Okay? Okay, Councilman Muscola?
Nothing to add.
Okay, Councilman Massaro?
Thank you, sir. Because it is a combined meeting, I don't want to go through all of my discussion items, but there is one that needs to be resurrected, sir. And there was a couple of meetings ago, we spent a tremendous amount of time dealing with the stoplight, the new stoplight on Inman Avenue at the CVS. And the way I remember it, we were talking about whether it was feasible for the large tractor trailer to make either the right-hand turn or the left-hand turn into that place for deliveries or coming off Inman Avenue. There were people representing that, experts said that, which makes it hearsay, that it was indeed possible to do. We talked about whether or not heading eastbound on Inman Avenue, there could be a problem getting stopped at that traffic light and backed up over the railroad tracks. Well, I'm not an expert in driving a large tractor trailer, but I do know when I get stopped at a traffic light and I've got the railroad tracks hanging off the butt of my car. And I do know that when I look at that turn radius, we talked about doing a number of things there, including having a demonstration. Since we did all of that discussion, I don't know that anything has happened. And it seems to me that we do need to have that demonstration. We do need to move that, I think Mr. Medina referred to it as the traffic bar.
Stop bar.
The stop bar moved backwards.
He said it would be.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, sir, but do we have any progress on having that demonstration?
Well,
Council President?
well, as I remember, we brought this up last time, and John, you can state it, but I understand that it was recalculated, and it was decided that the stop bar would come back 12 feet, was it? Right. So they kind of went through the procedure that we were asking for,
Right.
and John did announce that that stop bar would come back 12 feet.
On the other note, is it possible to see it? I'm sure it's possible, and I'm not from Missouri, but is it possible to arrange to have a tractor trailer show us how that turn can be made?
Do we have a volunteer? Okay. Okay. I see Charlie kind of nodding his head. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because it does look tight, sir.
It does look tight. It does look tight. Well, let's see if we have Mrs. Hennessy has just volunteered to drive an 18-wheel tractor trailer truck and make a left turn, a right-hand turn going east. That's right. Well, I don't know if I want a student driver making that turn, but it's not a bad idea. Well, you're right, ma'am. All right. Okay. That's a good point. Let's see if we can't work with that.
Yeah,
and
not to be too serious about this, but I don't, and it is easy to fall into good humor about the situation, but it is a real situation. Enough so that we did spend that hour or so in these chambers, and
Sure.
we do need to do something before. And I don't want to be alarmist about it either, but we do need to do something.
Okay.
Council President?
Yes, sir.
If my memory serves me correctly, I think Mr. Medina said that it didn't pass the test, and that's why they were moving it back, the bar back. When they went back and did their calculations, the turn ratio wasn't sufficient.
Right.
And I think that's why they moved it back.
Through the chair, Council President, that's correct. The steer on the truck is such that the stop bar had to be moved back 12 feet to allow the turning movement to get back into the lane.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's look and see if something comes up with that. That's a good point. Okay. Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Pearlstein?
None at this time.
Okay. Councilwoman Rosigliano?
Yes, thank you, Council President. My husband and I attended the fire officers' dinner on last Thursday evening, And I just want to say, as usual, it was a wonderful evening, good food, good friends, good conversation. And I want to thank the fire officers for, again, extending the invitation to join them for their holiday festivities. Where is the chief? He's not here. But at any rate, it was a wonderful evening. The Housing Authority had their holiday festivities at Lucas Restaurant on December 9th. Again, we shared a great meal and conversation with friends, and it was really good to see everyone in a relaxed atmosphere. On Friday evening, December 12th, I had the opportunity to attend the holiday dance for those individuals with disabilities at Stelton Community Center. A DJ provided the entertainment, Santa came to visit, and everyone was in a festive mood. And again, it was wonderful to see that those whose lives may have many limitations out on the dance floor, enjoying the music and the company of their peers. Thank you, Denise, for not forgetting this population. In fact, I don't remember the last time I've seen so many in attendance. They were 3 deep against that wall in the auditorium, in the gymnasium. It was very successful. I haven't seen that many people in a good number of years. So it was a fun evening. I, too, want to make note of the death of Jim Cooker. He was only 61 years old, and as I said, his wake is tomorrow, Tuesday evening, 7 to 9 at Flynn & Son on Ford Avenue. Jim served as an elected school board member. He was a veteran. He had been active with American Legion Post 324 on Brower Avenue. He was involved with the parade committee for Memorial Day Parade and for the services at the monuments on both Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Jim was an activist in this township, and he will be missed by many. Within these last 2 weeks, before we had the snow and ice, my neighbors, too, who constantly have cars knock down their fences, had them knocked down again. Please, you must come out to Featherbed Lane and see for yourself. We can't wait for a tragedy to occur. We can repair and replace a fence, but what happens if a vehicle comes barreling in through these fences and their children are in their backyards? This is happening on both sides of Featherbed Lane, both on the east side and the west side. It's happening on both sides of the street I live on, so both southbound and northbound. Something has to be done. We cannot continue. And again, it was before we had this snow and ice. It's a dangerous street. It has to be dealt with. We cannot wait for a tragedy to happen. I know I got another email from one of my neighbors. I told her I already had it on my discussion items. And she said, what are we going to do? She sent me a copy of all the emails, so they're in chronological order. And something was supposed to be done November of 2007, those guide rails. Nothing's been done. We can't continually have cars going through fences. We know that there are children that live there. In the one house, twice, a car came through the fence. Her children were playing in the backyard both times. It was nothing short of a miracle that those children were not injured. The other one, again, the same house, it was the day before she was due to have her baby, her second child. They have children. The babies play in the backyard. I realize with this bitter cold, they're not out in the yard, but it's not always going to be 10 degrees. We've got to do something, and we've got to do it fast. Okay?